In previous chapter, we saw the demon scheming sect's hopes brutally extinguished as despair and bitter regret overtook their ranks. Let's begin the chapter. Ah! The air was thick with wails, mournful cries echoing everywhere. But then, a roar. Cheers also erupted, a stark contrast to the agony. One side reveled in happiness, while the other was plunged into the very depths of despair as the four ancient monsters relentlessly hammered the demon scheming sect forces. The mystical heaven sect's people roared with unrestrained joy. In a terrifying instant, dozens of demon scheming sect experts fell, lifeless, their morale utterly shattered. Fear gripped the hearts of the remaining fighters, extinguishing their will to resist. Some turned and fled, desperate to escape the carnage. Defeat was no longer just a possibility, it was a chilling certainty. "Zhuo Fan, what are we going to do?" Fiend Yang cried, rushing to Zhuo Fan, his voice urgent and strained. "We're losing! We'll be annihilated if this continues! We have to escape!" He reported the grim news. "My eastern flank is collapsing on the verge of utter destruction!" Venerable Bai and others arrived in haste, their faces etched with worry. "The western side is almost gone," Venerable Bai exclaimed, his voice filled with despair. "The heavenly cycle elders, they are like death incarnate, leaving only destruction in their wake. We can't hold on." Venerable Qi pressed urgently. "Steward!" "Zhuo, our escape routes are closing fast. We must gather our remaining forces and break through now before it's too late." Zhuo Fan's voice was grim, devoid of hope. "Escape is pointless," he stated flatly. "Our initial strategy, to infiltrate and attack from within, has backfired spectacularly. We're now trapped, caught within their impenetrable defensive formation. We have only one path left open to us to fight and win, or to die here." "You're saying, even if we try to escape, it's hopeless?" Venerable Qi wailed, his voice cracking with fear. "We can't break through their array? Are we truly going to die here?" Fiend Yang took a deep breath, steeling his nerves. He fixed Zhuo Fan with a piercing gaze. "Then what is your plan? What must we do? Are we truly facing a fight to the death?" "Of course not," Zhuo Fan replied, a dangerous glint igniting in his eyes as he focused on sect leader Xuan. "We will take down their leader, and then the rest will crumble." Understanding dawned on the faces of the others. Of course, grab sect leader Xuan, the old weasel, and mystical heaven sect will have to yield. Sect leader Xuan, seeing the bloodthirsty eye. Determination in their eyes, understood their desperate plan. He recoiled, mocking them as he retreated. "Ha ha ha! You want me? You'll never reach me!" "Hey, hey, hey! We'll see about that, old man!" Fiend Yang sneered, a cruel smile twisting his lips. "Brothers, attack! Seize that old coot! Our very survival depends on it!" A furious roar erupted from the demon scheming sect experts. Hope ignited within them. Focusing every ounce of their remaining power, they surged forward, a wave of fury directed at sect leader Xuan. Their eyes burned with a desperate hunger like thugs fixated on their prize. Sect leader. Xuan visibly shivered, his bravado melting away as fear gripped him. He turned pale, realizing he was now the singular target of every desperate gaze. He had become a human shield, whether he liked it or not. Mystical heaven sect. Experts, witnessing their leader's peril, rushed to his defense. The bitter battle twisted again, taking yet another dramatic turn. The sprawling battlefield suddenly contracted, centering entirely on sect leader Xuan. He was now the most valuable and most vulnerable object on the field, everyone desperate to seize him. "Xuan," they taunted. "Just stay put, and be a good meat shield to buy us our escape." The demon scheming sect's 30-plus ethereal stage experts unleashed a barrage of soul attacks from 100 meters, targeting the terrified sect leader Xuan. Sect leader Xuan gulped, cold sweat pouring down his face. Even he couldn't withstand such a concentrated assault. But just as he was about to be overwhelmed, a deafening, draconic roar echoed across the battlefield. In a blinding flash of golden light, a tidal wave of dragon souls surged forward. Instantly, howls of pain and shock ripped through the air as the 30 attacking experts were violently thrown back, and there, standing protectively in front of a shaken sect leader Xuan, was the circle of heavenly cycle elders, the terrifying yellow dragon hovering menacingly above them. The heavenly cycle elders! The demon-scheming sect fighters cried out in dismay and disbelief. How did they get here so quickly? They retreated, huddling around Zhuo Fan, their eyes fixed in apprehension on the 4 monstrous figures. The mystical heaven sect sighed, emboldened, rallied around their sect leader, their faces now filled with smug disdain. In an instant, the chaotic fighting ceased, replaced by a tense standoff. The mystical heaven sect, their courage renewed, faced off against the demon-scheming sect, now gripped by fear and uncertainty, all because of the arrival of just 4 incredibly powerful elders. "Ha ha ha, Zhuo Fan!" Sect leader Xuan roared, his pride swelling once more. "Fighting you myself is beneath me now. With mystical heaven sect's 4 guardians here, your end is assured. You want to reach me? Hump! You'll have to wade through our venerables first." Zhuan Xiaoyu, eager to impress, stepped forward, echoing his father's arrogance. "Zhuo Fan, you vile demon! You deceived my junior sister. You are lower than the dirt beneath my feet. Soon I will tear you limb from limb, rip you into tiny pieces, and throw your remains to the wolves. Ha ha ha!" Outrage surged through the demon-scheming sect ranks, but they were helpless to retaliate. All their hopes now rested on Zhuo Fan, their eyes turning to him, pleading for a solution. "What now, Steward Zhuo?" Zhuo Fan's gaze hardened, a dangerous edge creeping into his voice. "You have pushed me too far," he warned. "Don't come crying to me when you regret this. I will now have to unleash my final ace!" A strange light flickered in Zhuo Fan's eyes as his fingers toyed with his ring. Fiend Yang's expression turned grave. "Zhuo Fan," he asked, his voice laced with concern. "Are you going to fight them yourself?" Han Qianying frowned, her brow furrowed with worry. "You want to fight them? Zhuo Fan, they have those 4 venerables. You can't possibly defeat them." Kui Lang waved a dismissive hand, a confident smile playing on her lips. "Qianying, you don't understand Steward Zhuo," she said reassuringly. "He has an ultimate move, a trump card. You haven't seen Steward Zhuo's black flame. Any kind of monster, any freak of nature, is nothing before it." Ahem. Zhuo Fan coughed pointedly, cutting Kui Lang off before she could reveal too much. "To be completely honest," he thought grimly, "I'm just as stumped as they are." The black thunderflame, while incredibly destructive, was not readily available. It required the decimating golden flame and the azure flame combined with purple lightning, and the golden flames he'd acquired at the Double Dragon gathering were stolen from Ye Lin, not his own, a temporary measure. That path was now closed to him, useless against these freakish elders. He had another option, a stolen sacred weapon from Double Dragon Manor, but that was a last resort. A desperate gamble. Exposing it would paint a massive target on his back, attracting unwanted attention from every corner of the continent. But Kui Lang's words had ignited a spark of hope. Every eye turned to Zhuo Fan, filled with anticipation, eager to witness the legendary Steward Zhuo's ultimate power. Even the 4 heavenly cycle elders seemed intrigued, a flicker of curiosity in their ancient eyes. "Oh," one of them chuckled, a low rumble in his chest. "So you are the leader of this pathetic rabble? Show us then. What can a mere babe possibly do against the 4 of us? I do hope you can at least offer us a moment of amusement, ha ha ha." Sect leader Xuan sneered, adding his own taunt. "Zhuo Fan, come and challenge our venerables if you dare. What difference does it make? You'll be dead either way, ha ha ha." Zhuo Fan offered them a faint smile, though inwardly he sighed, a sense of resignation washing over him. "I fear I must disappoint you all," he announced. "I do not intend to fight." A wave of confusion and despair washed over the demon-scheming sect ranks. Heads shook in disbelief. "Even Steward Zhuo has no solution?" Zhuo Fan continued, his voice gaining a strange intensity. "However," he declared, "I must reveal my ace in the hole. Remember this. You forced me to do this, so do not come crying. To me later!" With a dramatic flourish, Zhuo Fan flicked his hand. A blinding flash of glorious light erupted, and when it subsided, standing before them was a small figure, a 7-year-old child, the invincible scamp, Gu Santong. Gu Santong yawned widely, stretching languidly, a picture of utter boredom. He glanced at Zhuo Fan. "Dad," he drawled, "what took you so long? I was almost asleep." "Ha ha ha," Zhuo Fan chuckled, flashing a disarmingly innocent smile like a child himself. "But I have brought you out now, haven't I? You are our ace, my son. I couldn't just reveal you haphazardly. I had to wait for the perfect moment for maximum impact." Gu Santong nodded seriously, completely buying his father's explanation. The crowd was utterly dumbfounded. Confusion reigned. Even Fiend Yang erupted in disbelief, cursing under his breath. "What in the hells?" he exclaimed. "Why did you summon a kid when you said you were revealing an ace?" "He is my ace," Zhuo Fan declared, nodding emphatically, a proud father. "As a father, my son is my greatest, most powerful ace. Mystical. Heaven sect, listen closely and heed my words. If you wish to reach me, you will have to go through my son first." Zhuo Fan's voice boomed across the battlefield. Gu Santong, hearing his father's declaration, puffed out his small chest with pride. To stand as a shield for his father, to hold back the tide of enemies. This was the greatest honor a son could ask for. But no one else shared his enthusiasm. Both sides stared, utterly bewildered, from father to son, their minds struggling to comprehend. "You utter animal," they thought in unison, a mix of disbelief and exasperation washing over them.